All right. What am I doing here? All right. We're back on this Touhou 10 grind. You know what I think is bullshit? The demo play has like max lives. Dude, I can't even get 3. All right. All right. Look. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. Now, I got to... the end. And I was using this. Right. Okay. We're gonna need a couple runs to wake myself up a little bit. To remember what it is I'm supposed to be doing, because I don't remember. I don't remember what I did last time. Like the strategies. Yeah, okay, chill. I want you, like, here. Okay, everything is currently as it should be. Which is to say easy. That was the whole point. think I do want that there. And there's some motherfucker that jumps out here and like tries to stab me. Like that. Okay. Now, if I know anything about this, this shouldn't be that complicated. Exactly what I expected. Well, anyway, only humans would memorize pi, therefore I'm human. Wait, what? How does that even make any sense? I do remember I want that there. But I basically stay back here. Right, alright, yep, switch it. We're good. I mean, I broke it, who are you? I forgot there was a second part of this stage. That's fine. It's truly fine. What? I swear to fuck I'm dumb. I think we're doing a lot better the first time. I'm pretty sure I only had 2 lives coming out of this. I could have had 5, but... that's fine. I don't have a strategy at this point. It's just don't suck. Like that. What? Why are you football? Oh my gosh, no please. I can't have this happening. We didn't die there. Wait, no, we did. Wait, I don't remember. Now I just have to dodge this raw? Are you fucking serious? Oh, no, 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 no. Uh... I don't know if I have that in a good spot, but... Are you fucking serious, dude? I can't believe myself. Ah, we made it. Look at this. Well, it was a good run, well, Les. I don't know how you're supposed to dodge this shit. It definitely ain't however the fuck I was doing it. No, no! God damn it. You know what, for a warm-up, that's not too bad. No one saw that. Not a single person here, alright? That was me getting a little too cozy. I should be safe here. As I thought. So I can just go up there and just sit there. I want this a little bit higher, maybe like that. Alright. This goes here. And then I go here. That might be a little bit too high. Hello! How's it going? This is my second time playing this game. And I hope I can beat it. That's how it's going. So I'm still pretty new to this. Not new to the franchise as a whole, just this game. I gotta say, it took me one stream to have opinions on this game. I'll beat it soon. I will. I've beaten many games before this one. This one will be no different. I just gotta put in the time if you do the crime. Oh shit, you're still there. That's right, this is your fake out. Like which one? I have beaten 6. I 1cc'd that on normal. I beat 7. And I beat it on Lunatic. I didn't 1cc it, but I did beat it on Lunatic, and I did 1cc it on normal as well. And oh wait, this is your second thing, right? I'm gonna put this here because you're going around. You're going around. Yeah, okay. And I beat the extra stage on that one. And then I did the same for 8. I didn't beat it on Lunatic. I just beat it, and then I beat the extra stage on that one. And I don't know if you beat 9. 9's kind of a different beast, but I did play it. I did unlock all the characters. I didn't beat the extra mode for that one because that's just 9 stages of holy hell. And then I beat 16. That 16 was actually my first one that I beat, both normally and the extra stage for that one. 16 was my first. Extra I end something else. Dude, I felt like I cooked with that one because it's not like that hard. I struggled a lot more with 7. I struggled a lot more with fuck, what's it called? Perfect Cherry Blossom. Holy shit. I didn't beat the Phantasm stage on that one though. I found that Moko's spell cards were something that can be consistently worked around. And it actually did not, like, that was the fastest extra I ever beat. And, like, oh my god, I felt great. And then someone in chat said, it's like one of the easier extras. And I was like, oh, take away my accomplishment, why don't you? That was hard, but the bomb mechanic makes it easier. Yeah, absolutely. I managed to, I think I captured the last spell card. Because I had no bombs left, so I had no choice at that point. And I just captured the last spell card on that. And it was... Everyone's chat was like, holy shit, this is gonna be hard. And I was like, well, I just have to do this without any bombs, because I don't have any left. And I was not confident, because I had never captured it before in practice. And then I just did it. But yeah, the death bomb window is huge in that game, which I actually am a huge fan of. I actually really like that. We love 006. Yeah, I was last life. I think it was last life, no bombs or something. Or I had like maybe 1 life remaining or whatever. But I was... Death was on my door. They were coming to knocking. And I just barely eked out a victory there. Did I not clip it? Actually, I don't know if I clipped it. But it's definitely on my VOD channel. Because I've uploaded all of that there. But, like, holy crap, it was something else. Just like this. This is something else. This is where everything goes from, wow, you routed this really well, to you have no idea what you're doing. So you'll have to give me a moment. It's something about LOLK, which I can't look at and not shake my head, because the acronym is just really funny. Like action. Because that's what it stands for. No. I've heard that game's really hard. I played 16.5. That's my only experience with Clown Piece. All I know after that is some of the like manga I read. I read the 3 Visionary Fairies, and that's all I know about her. I know that in the game she's a fucking menace. I dread the time where I have to fight her, because I played her in like I had to fight her in 16.5, and I know that game's a lot different, but like holy hell, that was still hard. I want all the points. I need the lives. Kanako's gonna kick my ass. I could have dodged that. Holy shit. I was like in there actually, but I was not confident. I think we just ball these parts, and then I have to be here to anticipate your dumbass. No, my greed. I didn't want to spend a bomb there, but I just should have. That was max greed. I was like, I'll just make it. I'll just make it. Sorry, when I get to Aya, I'll read your messages, because I needed to focus. I got this on LOLK a few days ago. I felt relieved. Was it the extra? I was pulling death bombs like crazily. Madness and normal, but on hard and lunatic, she's quite easier. Really? Oh my god. Well, I can't play on hard or lunatic. I'm not nearly good enough for that. I had to deal PDH with 0 lives. Now, I'm not familiar with her spells or anything. All I know is that that game is notoriously hard. And the one after this. I can't wait to get blown up by a nuclear bird. PDH's last Junko spell? Oh, okay, yeah, I would not know that. That was a maneuver that I just pulled, holy shit. I think I can make it past this section. Yeah, I can. But I don't know if I can do it again. Oh shit! Can I no bomb this? Can I capture this? Hell yeah, dude. I feel like I just unlocked, like, I grew a couple neurons. Okay, I was scared. Okay, now Moko trained me for this. No! Moko's training was bullshit. I had the tech, dude. I had the tech. It choked. And it was 0-0 at the end. I was happy because I got the 1cc randomly. You love it when it's just like... That's exactly how it was with Moko. I was like... I had no business completing it that run, and I just did it, and I was like, holy crap. Okay, but I still have way more lives, I think, than I did the last time I got here. Like on my previous run. So all I need to do is not get fucking telefragged by Sine, and we're good. If we can do that, if I can skirt that hurdle, we are in the clear. My thing should be higher up, dude. Well now I don't care. Now I actually don't even care where they are. I just want that. You're gonna sit there. Maybe not the best placement, but we ball. That's alright. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These are the sounds I make when I play this game. What? No, dude, I swore I dodged that, and I bombed that. I swore I did everything right. Okay, no. All right, we're just gonna win. All right. I refuse to choke. I refuse. It's a mental thing. I refuse. I refuse. I refute your premise. You think I can get up there and move my stuff? It doesn't matter. Never mind. It just doesn't matter. Okay, where are we at? I'm getting that. I was stressing during the stage. I literally choked my live by going in a random enemy that I didn't see and I wasn't even shooting. I hate when that happens. Where they just football tackle you out of nowhere. But no lives for Junko. Like, but I carried the end game. Totally not by bombing everything. Hey, look, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I can't remember if I've ever captured that before. Okay, I wanna... You know what? So long as it works. And this is also not working. Why is Luigi so much harder? I don't know why. Raymu was a lot easier than this. Also, my thing is way out of range. This is mighty unfortunate, but doesn't matter because I can do this one. You know what? Whatever. I'd rather not be dead. Okay, so I have 4 lives going into this. We gotta talk game plan. What's the strategy here? Here's the strategy. I'm gonna put my stuff top left. I'm gonna hang on the right, which is basically the same strategy I've been doing since stage 3. There's a point where I have to move it to the center. I don't remember what that point is. Stage 6 bullets are mostly aimed. This is true. This is true. I was doing that a bit on Sane's spell card with the fucking sine waves when she gets all sinusoidal on you. But I didn't really have anything for that. Oh wait, I only have, yeah, I don't have a lot of power. That's right, the beginning stuff is aimed, so I can just kind of chill like this. Only the chonky fairies, yes. Wait, are these aimed too? How do you aim this shit? Ah, fuck. That was a mistake. But you know what? I needed the power anyway. I think now is when I want to do that. Actually, no, that is 100% not when I want to move it to the center. I want to move it to the center here at this ferry. That's where I do it. No! Oh my god, dude. I'm choking. I should have just bombed that. I got greed. I greed maxed all the time. I think I want it like here. Okay, maybe not. Maybe like here. Just get the 150 million score easy. You know what? You're right. Yeah, this shit's aimed. I do need a bomb here because I don't have any other strategy that works. This section is aimed, right? Yeah, okay. Come on, we need more damage. We're running out of space. Oh, okay, that was close. No, fuck! I don't feel like I have a solid strategy for this. I also forgot what I was supposed to be doing there. Alright, well, been a fucking pleasure. That's how you're supposed to do that. Shrine Ritual sucks. Which one was that? Oh, fuck. The knifey one. Oh, yeah, that one sucks. Oh shit, those are like aimed. Wait a second. Okay, there's strategies. There's tech that I was not aware of. I just had to get in her face and bomb her twice. You know what? That's fair. Double spiral of static and aimed. So it sucks. If this is where I peak, I will be very, very sad. If that's my best run of the day. It's very rowdy, yeah. I missed that 1 point item. That's gonna be the difference between having 3 lives on the final versus having 2. Mark my words. Okay, I made up for it. I'm gonna put this right here. I didn't have to be that precise, but for some reason I make it that precise. I don't think I really need to plop those down anywhere. Not right yet, anyway. I should really have this on one of the sides and not in the middle. It's not really doing me much in the middle. All it does is be in the spot I want it to be when she decides to stop being a shithead. Do not need to bomb that. Do not need to not bomb that, is what I meant to say, actually. But I did it anyway. I'm not sure why. Because I could. For the points, dude, that's what it was. It was for the points. There we go. I've rationalized it to myself. You're so right, she is Speen. She is different Speen. I mean, I'd still argue Ran is like the original Speen. Actually, I think it would actually be Chen. Chen's the original Speen. Hina just spin on different axes. But she always spin that different. Why is she like a slow top? I don't want to call her a Beyblade because she doesn't have the same velocity and aggressiveness as Chen and Ran do when they go all spin about. What is your MO for spin? Goodbye, Speen. think that's just barely in the right spot. I probably could have had it a little bit higher. Your Jape. That was a little close. And then we're gonna put this back here. I'm not gonna die to dumb shit. Oh shit. That was greed. What? What did I just say about dying to dumb shit? I genuinely didn't. I genuinely felt like I was in the clear there. Okay, I just winged that one and it worked. When in doubt, press X. Apparently, I wasn't doubtful enough. And I wasn't doubtful enough there either. Until it was far too late, and then I was like, oh shit, I should probably, and then died. Okay. I'm gonna be extremely superstitious now. I doubt everything. Alright, that is our whole MO. Doubt everything. You see how I nearly didn't doubt myself and died there? That's right. It's all okay. I have most of this fight down to a science, I believe. I actually was gonna live that, holy shit. No, I fucked it up again. I promise you I can do that one. AFC? What the hell am I even saying? KFC crisscross fries. Yeah, dude, What? What? Lack of attention was paid in that moment. Lack of attention was paid in that moment. Oh my gosh. I need to lock in. Right? There was a stop sign there and everything. Are you fucking serious? Dude, I swear to God, I suck balls. There's no point. Alright. Everything was great. The first 3 stages, I'm pretty sure everything was good. I got the first 3 down to the science. And I have a bit of... I have most of Aya down to a science. I just need to not choke. Fire bombs often as you get infinite amount of as long as you have power. This is true. Max power items get converted. True. But then I'll have less lives, because the power items give less points. than the point items. And that will leave me with less lives if I don't capture the spell cards, so I'll get less points. What the fuck was that? That was me nearly choking balls. I'm gonna put this over here. I think that'll drastically make my life easier here. Okay, apparently not. I don't need to capture this one though, so that's fine. Whoa, I thought it was gonna be scary for a second. This should be a walk in the park. Up until this point right here. Not that this is like really that hard. That's the only thing where I don't have complete control over the whole stage. I don't have full stage control. Later. my greed. My greed knows no bounds. See, that was easy. Now do I bomb this one? I can technically do it, but I know it's rough. And that was really close. You know what? I'm not risking it. But that was like a couple units over to the left, and that thing's hitting me. I think I want this here. I don't know where I want this. You know what? This is just we ball. This is just we ball. Oh my god. That was a series of options that I made. Whoa. Careful there. Goodbye. I'm not dealing with you. Not even a little bit do I ever want to deal with you. Okay, so I have 5 lives going into this. That's probably the best I'm gonna do. But I definitely have to do some of this without bombs, or else I'm gonna end up losing a life. Like this one, I bombed because I have no idea how you do it normally. So, fuck that shit. This one's pretty easy. This one, I'll see if I can do the dodge. Ooh, maybe I can. Oh, we're so good, dude. We're so good. I'm not messing around with this. Now I put this here. And I move all the way over here. I'm missing a point item. Missing 1 point item. That's what I need. Them being desynced like this is actually really fucking helpful. Yeah, no. We're not, alright? We're just not. And we're not doing that either. Oh no, thank you. Ugh. Now we just engage in much an evasive maneuver. Whoa! Whoa! I can be this good at the game? Wait, what? Alright, I'm not letting it get to my head. We're not done. We're not done until we see the credits. Nope. No. No, dude, I was like so fucking close. Oh my god, can you believe it? Ah! I nearly did it. I was like 5 shots away. I'm pretty sure I was probably gonna die at the start of stage 6 anyway, because I didn't have anything. Actually, I want this like this has to be the amount of balls I will have to choke to lose this is insane. That is all. Like, I can't. I just physically can't lose. No. You gotta be here. You know what? That's probably fine. I've come to bomb your shrine. Oh my gosh, no, Marissa, please. You can't get accused for terrorism as well. That's not okay. You won't be able to deny the allegations. You already can't deny enough allegations as is. The last thing you need to do is be accused for fucking bombing shrines. You really can't afford this for your reputation, Marissa. You really can't. Really good, solid play throughout the first 4 stages gave me this opportunity. And even solid play in the 5th stage. I didn't really choke in the 5th stage either. All of that solid play has given me this legendary opportunity that I will not squander. If I doubt anything, I am ready to shoot. Fuck. Okay, no. Now, if I doubt anything, I'm ready to shoot. No. I was just feeling myself there. I promise. I was just feeling myself. It's not a bad omen. I'm gonna need to bomb this one, that's for sure. It doesn't say you def bomb. No, fuck your bullshit. I hate that spell. More than you know. And dude, those hit boxes are fucked. I really should not gamble my life on that. I'm not gambling my life on this either. Zun code TM. TM. See, I can do that one. This one's a little bit harder. Yeah. She has like bomb and shoot immunity. Yeah. And I hate Remelia's final non too, so now I just gotta do the same thing. I just gotta be solid. Alright. No trying to cheese fuck out of this. We just gotta be good. We just gotta be good. But we bomb this one, because I don't trust that. Now, we get up here. This is the shrine, the miracle of fuck your bullshit. I have no more bombs. How am I supposed to redirect this? Am I just fuck? I am. Okay, whatever. If I had 2 power, I could bomb again, but I didn't. I don't even know if I'm damaging her, or how close I am. Oh my god, I'm so far from okay. How has it come to this again? No, fuck, you gotta be so fucking joking. And like I had everything given to me on a silver platter. I was like, I was so close. I could hear it. I could see it. I could feel it. Oh my god. Like you can't. How do I choke 7 lives on the last stage? I got sloppy. I just got sloppy. I just can't believe I did that. Okay, the next time I get there with a run that good, I'm not gonna be cocky. We're just gonna brute force our way through. There's definitely some things that. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch eclipse. There's definitely some things that like I can dodge normally and that I should dodge normally. But there's some shit that I should just bomb on sight. See, and this is how Marissa got arrested for bombing a shrine. Fucking tragic, that. Eh? Appreciate you lurking in the background, Eclipse. The amount of pressure when I get to that point is definitely not something that I haven't handled before. I did the Touhou 16 extra stage. That was me. I was that guy. Where I did feel the pressure and choked from it, and then just woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'm just gonna win, and then just won. That was me. I was that guy. I can do it again. Hanako isn't a sage, they're just a god. What's the difference? Pretty sure this is always the strat, just like that over there and I'm over here and you're over there and I'm out here. And we're all in this together. Alright. Little Miss Speen. Okay, yeah, I'll just capture it. I'll just get real cozy, and we'll just do that. I lean my whole pinky down to make sure I'm still holding shift because it's. You gotta be. See, this is why I don't talk. This is why I shut up. I have to lean my whole pinky down to like make sure I'm still holding shift, and then I can hold control, but then also be holding Z, so that when the fight starts, I'm guns blazing. You know. What am I doing, dude? Oh my gosh. We're just filtering the world RNG, so that I'm better. I'm on a better seed now. I'm on a better run. On life. Fuck that one. That was. I'm gonna stop trying to rationalize my deaths, and I'm just gonna play the fucking game. I hope we're all good with that. Play fast and loose here because it's just the first stage, doesn't matter. Any gambles we take are worth it. If we lose, it's not like we lose much. We just lose our dignity. Which honestly isn't even worth a lot of those points. Okay. Alright, that it was a funny joke, dying on the first stage like 2 times in a row. It was a good joke. I'm ready to not joke anymore. I'm good. I'm good. That's what happened last time. Are you gonna do it again? Am I gonna succumb to my own hubris once more? Yeah, avoid the surprise motherfucker. I could, you're right, Marissa, I could use some practice. Have you seen my performance? Hey, welcome to the Crash Out stream. Actually, we're not really there yet. We'll get there though. Don't worry. We're getting there. we're getting there. Oh my god, dude. I would like to play a different level after this. Holy shit. I couldn't do that even if I tried. I used up all of my focus, all of my brain power, all of my willpower, my spirit. I used it all up on that one run where I was fucking goated. And now this must become a new spiritual journey. I must unlock what it means to be myself. Every time. Alright, I have unlocked my new meaning of existence, my penultimate purpose. I have truly ascended. I am one with the mountain people. I have ascended to a higher level of existence. And as such, will... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I will rise above this petty challenge. I don't know why I pressed control there, it doesn't really do anything. Practicing my malice cannon? That's not funny. No. We just roast you. Hello, please, pay attention for more than 3 seconds. Come on. Focus. Don't get distracted by the pretty colors. Any other bullshit that is occurring. Alright, it took 5 attempts or some shit to get back to you, when it really should have taken 0 extra attempts. Nah, fuck you. Alright, the next shit is this. This shit is relatively straightforward. Then she's gonna hit me with her Spiral of Doom. Her Skein of Destiny. And lastly, her Masochist Spiral. Therefore, I rise above. Alright, now it's the J-boat. No. Okay. Yeah, that's good there. Is there any way to dodge this shit reasonably? Probably just by being good, something that I am not. If this gets remotely scary, I'm ready. I have the trigger. Fuck! No, I don't. Alright. I shouldn't fuck around with that one. I shouldn't. I'm always tempted, but I shouldn't. Alright. No more fucking around. That was my one opportunity to fuck around with shit and find out. We have decided that is no longer allowed. That has been made illegal under the new regime. That regime being the regime that wants to actually fucking beat this game. What in fuck's name is wrong with you? No. I should have just bombed that. Why am I doing this? Why am I constantly doing this? Why am I constantly getting too comfy here? Oh my lord. I can't fucking believe this. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not entertaining the rest of that run. I refuse. It got so scuffed, I ain't doing it. Okay. I don't know why I struggled so much. I need to regain expended mental faculties. Why am I doing this? I think I'm funny. Maybe it would have helped if I actually had the frost breath shit in the right spot, but apparently I was too cool for that. Okay, I just captured that too for some reason. I don't know what I'm doing. We are setting a good, solid foundation for our run. That's what we're doing. An absolutely tip-top foundation where we captured everything. That might be a little bit too high, but I have an opportunity to adjust it. This is the J-boat? Yeah, this is the J-boat. I don't know why I'm calling it that, but I am. Not gonna risk it there. It doesn't matter. Gonna take it nice and slow and easy. I'm not fucking around with her monster cucumber. I don't like the way that sounds. Basically dodge this part because it's easy, and then we throw the bomb here, and then that basically guarantees it. Boom! Easy peasy. Wait, please don't throw. No. All right, we're paying attention. We're locked in. At the first sign of danger. This desync is actually very useful. I wasn't ready. I am now ready. Okay, we're back on a good run. In fact, I think this run is even better technically than the last run. No. Don't get too close and personal with this thing. It's not worth it. What? I wasn't paying attention. I greeted and I shouldn't have. I got too comfortable. All right, no more. We going safe strats only. Come on. That was a really unfortunate time to get 4 power. It instantly snaps my things if I'm not in focus mode. No, I'm not fucking around with that fairy. That fairy's got too much health. And will destroy me. New area. I mean, I have been to... I've gotten to the last stage. I've gotten to the last spell card of the last stage. I've gotten the boss to like 5 hits left on the last spell card on the last stage. And then choke balls. Like that. Exactly like that. What am I doing? I'm taking the excellent foundation I set in the first 2 stages, and I'm throwing it out the window. That's alright. Good play should still be able to clear this. I shouldn't need 7 fucking lives for the last boss to clear it, considering I can get to the final spell card with only 2. And it shouldn't take 7 lives to beat that. No. We're not having any of that, alright? Not 7 lives, but 4. This is still 100% doable. I just need to not suck. And this section is full of aimed bullets, so I can just do a little bit of this. I had no bombs. There was nothing. I'm not fucking with this one. That should be enough to clear this. Alright, maybe not. That's fine. Whatever. What? No. Oh, no, 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 no. No, dude. Oh my gosh, I can't be choking on the end like this. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. I don't need the game lagging here. Oh no. That was it. And that was it. I went and fucked it. It's that last non-spell that ruins my chances for the actual final spell. That's what it is. Why? Why? Just why? Why do I gotta get back to this and suck? All right. Whatever, I don't even care. Do I try and make this a solid foundation? Do I try to be foundationally solid? Well, that's what we're currently doing. At least what I presume is foundationally solid. Okay. We are cooking. No, what? Oh my god. That was greed. That was greed. Whatever. All right. Oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? No, what am I doing? What? No, that didn't hit me. I'm telling you it didn't. I'm not gonna greed this one. I'm not gonna do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. What? Am I balling? I don't know about that. That was gonna get me killed. That should be fine. There will be no dumb greed. There will be none of that. None. Okay. I could try and dodge this, but I don't have to. Same with this one. Okay, having to spend 3 bombs on that is a little unfortunate. Okay, but I caught that one, which means I still have 2 bombs going into the next stage, so I don't have to worry about that. So I should be able to get to her without having to lose a life. Which means I have 3 lives going into this. This should be fine. Okay. We're not fucking this one up, alright? I'll tell you why. I know what I'm doing. I've gotten so close so many times. I've had more lives than this, sure. Her first thing is the little shockwave bullshit thingy. That's wait, no, you have to die. I'm gonna have to bomb this. Nah, shit. This is her thing. Okay. No, that's not what we want to be doing. I can so do this. Oh my fucking god! Let's go. Oh my god, that took a lot more attempts than it should have. I got so close so many times. Oh my god, that was insane. Not much of a pop-off, but like, holy shit. Oh, finally. We've done it. There is no pop-off, there's just a release of like, holy shit, fuck you. And I guess there's no pop-off because deep down I always knew I could do it, so technically I've not surprised myself. I've just met my expectations. Ending number 6, but please stop the overbearing solicitation. Just as I'd expected is what it says. Success. I have no clue what any of the end is. I mean, of course, I have to cover it. That is a requirement. So. Which means I'm not going to say any of the end either. Unfortunately, that is prerogative. That is the procedure. If you want to know the ending, you're going to just have to play it yourself, which to some people is a lot, I guess, but... Anyway, we do have the, this is interesting. We do have Into the Valley of Death I shall one day go. Exactly. That's the English version, yeah. Alright, as always, the legal drinking age is 20 in Japan, so let's follow the rules, drink responsibly, and enjoy deliciously. What? I didn't even notice that. I do have, as you can see, I was looking around, and I found, I didn't even notice I sold this thing. This is the Omake. The other stuff I was pulling up was the wrong character set. So, I'm gonna give this a read. Zun is something, right? Alright. And this, of course, unlocks the extra stage. Oh, you want to play? You're pretty curious, aren't you? And I can only do it with this shot type. Of course. Now, I don't know if I really want to dive in too much into the extra stage right now, but look, we have a bit of time. I'm going to take a look at and read the Omake here, and we can basically see what this is all about. This is his afterword and stuff, so we'll give it a read, as we traditionally have done, though I've not done it for 16. So the next time I visit 16, and I know there will be a next time I visit that game, unfortunately, I'll be sure to read the Omake then. If I even have it. If I had the Steam version, it probably comes with it. Anyway, this is the Omake afterword for Mountain of Faith. And it says, I've played too much Lunatic, so my hands are tired. I'm Zun. Finally, I've released the 10th Touhou work. I'm always doing pretty much the same stuff, but since Embodiment of Scarlet Devil was released, I get the gut feeling that the game industry itself has changed an awful lot. The evolution of hardware has slowed down a bit, but at the same time, software has reached something of an impasse. The users don't just want more of the same, and as a result, games have no choice but to evolve. Even the fact that the industry needs to attract users outside of the usual group that's considered gamers is in part due to this impasse. This need to bring games to a new audience has helped reinitialize games whose evolution has ceased. Nintendo has had some success by introducing new controls such as through touchscreens and remotes, and redefining the terms of victory at a game into things such as improving your English skills. Now keep in mind, this was released in 2007. Which is approximately the release date of the Wii. So Zun is talking about the Wii and the massive innovation that it has had on the gaming industry as a whole. And he'd be right, the Wii definitely changed a lot of things. Yet, at the same time, there are things that the game industry has had no choice but to sacrifice. Shooting games that have become too difficult, fighting and action games that have become too complex, Games like this, intended for hardcore gamers, are used as bad examples for the modern game industry, and the representative old-time titles are practically treated as the evil of the new age games. And I do have a lot of comments on where this is today, in particular in relation to some of the stuff that I do. So more on that in a bit. I wonder if the day will come when those old-time games are revived as something totally different before our eyes. It just have to be in some way that today's new users could enjoy them. This sentence... Sorry, let me scroll down a bit. This sentence here has aged like fine wine. Old-time games revived as something totally different before our eyes. That sentence? Artisanal. Okay? In any case, I don't think that the games of yesterday have become boring. Question, have there been any more new Touhou games? Yes. Last year... Since this one, or... Oh, so last year... Was last year or the year before? Some time ago. Up to 2 years ago. The 20th Touhou game was released. So technically, Mountain of Faith actually marks the halfway point in the franchise. I don't know if it marks a halfway point in terms of like releases, because I don't know if Touhou games followed a very regular release schedule. I don't think they did, because they were mostly just side projects, especially the earlier ones, right? But in terms of actual numerical entries, this one only marks the halfway point in the journey. And I will be looking at the older ones, the ones before Touhou 6. Maybe not the first one, because the first one's drastically different and also is really hard on the eyes. I'd have to put a seizure warning if I played the first game. But the second game and onward, I could probably play just fine. And I do intend to take a look at them, because I want that full, well-rounded experience, and we can see how drastically the older ones differ from the newer ones. In particular, how they differ to Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, because that is when the whole spell card system was introduced, and the first games don't have that. They are more like traditional shooters as opposed to the bullet hell shoot 'em up that Touhou has evolved into. Mountain of Faith is roughly when it became less of a side project, as this is about when Zun quit his job as Taito. And I actually have thoughts, because I agree and disagree a little. The age of remakes has been interesting, but many game series have changed, but the ones that kept the same soul, I have noticed, seem to have the most success. He quotes Taito Burnout as to why there was a gap here in 2006, like God of War. Exactly, right? So, the revival, this age of revival, I mean, Zun, for the guy he kind of is, and I haven't met the guy in person. I don't know if I ever will meet the guy in person. All I know about him is what I have been told, right? So all I have are these anecdotal, second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand kind of recounts. But from what I know about him, he is surprisingly insightful about the game industry, despite that technically not being his primary, like, outlet. He is a musician first, game developer second, kind of thing, right? Maybe today it's a little bit more even because, you know, things have grown. But at least around this time, right, he was definitely musician first, game developer second, yet he still has a surprising amount of insight on the game industry as a whole, and has managed to make statements like this one here that have just aged perfectly in today's day and age. Now, to jump back a bit, has there been more games since this one? Yes, like I said, Touhou 20 was a game that came out a couple of years ago and was actually heavily criticized for its use of AI art, especially in the demo, because people thought that Zun was just taking the cheap way out and stuff, and they didn't want to see that happen to the Touhou series. They didn't want to see that happen. Now, that turned out to be an intentional design choice, because the story of Touhou 20 actually revolves around AI usage, and so using AI art in the background was a thematic choice to tie that story together, which was still a risky play in my opinion, because he definitely got a lot of flack for it. And he has admitted that it was just for this thematic aspect and was not actually something he intended on doing. He found it to be a lot harder to use AI for that than what he was doing originally. So if there is a 21st Touhou game, it will probably not do that. But it was, I say that the use of AI in Touhou 20 was a gambit, a very risky gambit that did pay off, but definitely not something I think you try and repeat. Like someone was talking about AI and its applications, it's a good time before it got into Western mainstream. I don't remember the first exact mention, but he compares Zanmu to AI. It's really efficient at certain things, and that's good, but it lacks human creativity, which is bad. Exactly. And that creativity is what's really important, right? You end up with a very particular kind of style with AI art. And to play devil's advocate for a second, I think the style that AI art has created is a style in its own right. And I don't think we should be jumping to one extreme or another of like AI should replace everything and AI is the death of humanity, right? It's a different creative outlet, and I think it should be regarded as such. But currently it's being compared to and put alongside the existing creative outlets, which is what I think causes a lot of that backlash. But if people just tagged their art as AI and there were separate sections for that for people who wish to appreciate that, right? Like I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. If you like the style that AI art has and you like seeing what people can make with the prompts and stuff, there definitely can be some creative value there, but it cannot be compared directly to other art. Just like how I can't compare a musical track to a physical painting. They're two different mediums. And I can't compare the artistic value of one to the artistic value of another and hope to have any meaningful comparison. We're comparing apples and oranges here. I mean, this is the man who brought one of the most popular characters who barely had any relevance in canon after 10 plus years, just because one day, if I remember right, he saw a kid in his son's school draw her. I think I do remember that. The problem is that AI art fundamentally changes the valuation of all art on the internet, which is how the problems start. Yes, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. It needs to not be valued the same way regular art is valued, because it is currently being lumped alongside all the regular art as just the same thing, right? That's why the problem exists. If we had a separation between the two, such that they could coexist independently of one another without really influencing one or the other, then I think there is a place where that can happen. This seems very idealistic and very, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess idealistic is the word I'm looking for. Which seems like, we might not be able to get there, right? And I totally understand. I'm speaking about, a paradise of a scenario where everybody does the right thing. But I think fundamentally that might be the only way that something like this could actually be able to coexist, is if we enter this like utopia paradise where everything is respected correctly. Idealistic / naive, maybe that word, not trying to be insulting. Yeah, you know what, naive might be the word I'm looking for as well. It might be a naive take to assume that everyone will be able to correctly distinguish and distribute and not try and devalue one or the other. But that's my take on it. My take is where it currently is definitely damages the artistic space, but there is a reality where it doesn't have to. It's just I'm not sure if we'll get there. I guess that's my final take on that. Anyway, fortunately, Zun writes, shmups are definitely alive and well. Developing one is a fairly small-scale venture, so you can do it alone. Wait, really? Is this true? Yeah, the problem is, in a capital-driven environment, the monetary incentive and convenience combined with the fact AI is so saturated just makes it so damaging. But, like, the tech ain't bad. The tech ain't bad if it's handled responsibly. I mean, the large warehouses that are used to run the AI servers and all of that is not lost on me, and there definitely is infrastructure issues there, right? But, like, the premise of the tech itself is not bad, right? It's like the saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Like, AI isn't bad, people are bad. That's sort of it, right? Anyway, developing a shmup is a fairly small-scale venture, so you can do it alone. Catch me making my own shmup. I will. I actually, okay, this is a little bit insight into what some of my plans are that are swimming around my brain there. I have a mod that I want to work on that's not for Minecraft. I want to branch out from that, and then I have an idea for a small little side project that I can host on a website, and it'll just be a fun little Touhou related game. It's not going to be a shmup. It's going to be just a Touhou related thing, which I think could be a little fun. I don't want to spoil anything about it. It's not. Don't get your hopes up that it's going to be some revolutionary thing. It's just supposed to be something to get my feet wet with, like, web design and stuff like that. And then, you know what? After that, I'm going to make a shmup. I have said it here and now. It's going to happen. And I'm going to learn everything that is needed to learn in order to do it, and we're going to get there. All right? That's you have my promise. All right? I just hit my steps by tapping my desk like that. Also, what's a shmup? This is a shmup. A shoot 'em up is what it's sort of abbreviated as. Touhou is a shmup, right? This. To my knowledge, Sun specifically used AI for the stage background, where he usually just simply downloads assets and modified stock assets. Yes, I have heard that before. That is exactly what he is. The AI art was not used for any of the main assets, just for the background imagery. I swear there's someone on Japanese side who basically did research into where what comes from. Also, it's funny that we now have a literal newborn baby full of AI misinformation character who has patterns like Flat Earther or New World Order. Oh my god. So I think Zun's stance is that he's not really in favor of a lot of those things, but played his cards close to his chest, right? Imagine going 5 years into the past and being like, guys, how do you stop? How do you cap chocolate river? Oh my god. Shmups are relatively short to play, and the basic rules are fairly simple, which has probably contributed to their success. Doujin games are also becoming a fairly major genre. Games following the old school that would be too hard to release to the customer market are still around in the doujin scene. And now that hardware, PCs have caught up with, I'm like way down here, by the way. I just realized this isn't really showing everything correctly, but whatever. Wait, if I do this, will it show correctly now? I don't know. Not really. Anyway, whatever. Wait, what if I go here? Wow! I was on the wrong screen. I shouldn't have been on my tablet. I fixed it! Hooray. I do need to move stream chat so that I can see here. There we go. Boom. Where were we? We were here. Now that hardware PCs have caught up with what's released in the customer... Oh wait, no we're not. Oh yeah. Now the hardware PCs have caught up with what's released for the consumer electronics market, and the software has taken advantage of its strength, doujin games are more or less where they should be. Isn't that practically ideal? To tell you the truth, about the time Embodiment of Scarlet Devil was released, I thought shmups are a dying breed. When they finally disappeared, Bullet Hell would be retired to Gensokyo as well, so Bullet Hell battles would be the main thing in Gensokyo. But I thought, if shooting games would be left in the past when we entered the new age of gaming, then I'd like to leave behind a few titles myself. A model 20th century shooting game to extend the craze into the 21st century was something of a catchphrase for Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, and in the end, it kept extending, and we've made it this far. Now that it's 2007, my brain is still stuck on the 20th century somehow. Some of my plans have fallen by the wayside, but shooting games still continue to be made. There should be a space there. And even better, the doujin community has released games that have evolved in ways that aren't seen anywhere else. This is the extreme of happiness to me. People like me who love the evil of the new age of gaming should pay attention to the doujin scene. How strange and wonderful to continue to enjoy this unchanging newness. Well, now I've made shrines the theme for the first time in this 10th game. Maybe I should have done that from the beginning, since this is a series of Shrine Maiden games. Thanks to this theme, it has a very Japanese feel to it. The songs are particularly nostalgic, and it was very enjoyable and nostalgic to make this. What do you think of it? I think it was bad. There might be parts that are hard to follow. If so, it's probably because it's full of references to the local gods around my home. Since I wanted it to have a Japanese nostalgic feel to it, I filled it with material that makes me feel nostalgic. In short, the story for this game is a pair of local gods who've fallen on hard times in the outside world discover a rich and wonderful second life in Gensokyo. How simple. I did a lot of research to find out as much as I could about the gods that make their appearance in this game. It was by no means an excuse to do things like relax in a hot spring, drink some sake, and then get back in the hot spring. The research was a lot of fun, especially the hot springs and the sake. Hot springs. Yes. Once I've got the master copy, I should go to a hot spring. Some sort of flag gets triggered then. Beautiful. And that is the Omake. Now, there is a section for the extra story, which we will read, and we will read up on the other characters. Of course, we will not read up on the extra boss, though I already know who it is, because there's no one else it could be. It's not really a surprise. Okay. Now, this is the character intros. There's lots of extreme spoilers here, even about the ending. Only look at it if you've given up on clearing it, or just don't mind that sort of thing. Move down 1000. What is this? Is this some unit that I'm not familiar with? RI. Anyway, this applies to you all as well. If you're not interested in the spoilers or anything, I will be reading this, so you have been thoroughly warned. I need to consider the fact that the shoot-'em-up genre has def changed but also ain't dead. Yeah, no, I agree. By the way, recently I found a Twitter thread talking about Touhou fan translations. Seemed to be one of the earliest translation of Japanese works where yokai is kept as is. And man, I swear they had some future sight, because a bunch of works released in the future would make no sense with the word yokai translated to something like monster. Yeah, right? Like, imagine if the translation just went to monster and all these people were called monsters. Like, Aya was a monster, and, you know, Ryzen was a monster, and all this other stuff. It'd be completely different connotation, right? So this is the extra story, and I will read it. Hakure Shrine, the Hakure Shrine in beautiful autumnal. I've like 5 words in, I'm having a problem, holy hell. The tension between the mountain god's threat to take over the shrine had vanished. Somehow Reimu had managed to talk Gensokyo's new god into a peaceful resolution. The shrine might get more visitors from now on, Reimu thought, heaving a sigh of relief. I brought some chestnuts. Did you go back to the mountain? Yep, because it's an autumn of harvesting. Not my problem if the Tengu catch you. Perhaps encouraged by her initial successes, Marissa had continued to sneak into the mountain to find interesting things. Classic. I've never seen chestnuts that big before. I found this really monstrous chestnut tree. Oh, and I heard a weird rumor too. What? That the chestnuts are a trap? It has nothing to do with the chestnuts. There's this rumor among the Tengu that there's another god in that wind god's shrine. Is this Touhou reading hours? It is, right? I just what's up, Dino? I just beat I just won CC'd Mountain of Faith. Oh my god, words. So, by the way, oh wait, yes, I already read that comment. Brain. The Tengu and Kappa of the mountain had reconciled with Kanako, and so the shrine was allowed to stay. Kanako's skillful words had won over the mountain yokai, and it appeared she was already revered as the god of Yokai Mountain. Their faith in Kanako, who was well endowed with divine traits, was a great benefit to the yokai at the mountain. Faith was the best way to make life peaceful and plentiful. The only troubling aspect of the situation was that the mountain yokai had become quite powerful, threatening the balance of power between them and the yokai at the foot of the mountain. Oh, didn't Kanako say anything about that? She might be hiding something. Although she didn't seem that shady a character to me, she's really cheerful. That's true. Japanese gods are usually are cheery. Still, it's a little suspicious how she won over the mountain yokai so quickly. If there really is another god, maybe that has something to do with it. Suspicious. As a matter of fact, Kanako had not been at the shrine, but at the lake. Moreover, she herself had said that her true residence was not at the shrine, but the mountain itself. In that case, what sort of god could be living in the shrine's inner sanctum? If there was already another god in the shrine, wouldn't that mean Kanako wouldn't be able to use it freely? The more they thought about it, the less they understood, and so to clear away their questions, the two set out for the shrine atop the mountain again. I missed it, just like I missed my bus, which is why I'm late. Oh no, I mean, there were many very close runs, and then I just choked at the end, right? It was devastating. I was forced to become a slow walker instead. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Alright. Now the character intros. First off, we have Reimu. Her ability is capable of flying in the air, which a lot of other people can do, but that is her stated power. Good for her. The all too familiar Shrine Maiden of the Hakure Shrine, she treats everyone basically the same way. However, since her job is hunting yokai, she takes a fairly strict stance against yokai, but she's actually equally uninterested in humans and yokai. This time there's a conspiracy surrounding her gods. She may be their spokesperson, but her circumstances as a yokai hunter are different, so she feels a bit lost. It's her special ability that no one else can do. No one else can fly in the air. Not one other person. Alright, Marissa, her ability is the ability to use magic. Not a single other person can use magic. Okay, this I can at least more so understand because not a single other human can really use magic. Everyone else is actually just standing on invisible platforms. So true, so true. An ordinary magician living in Gensokyo, she also has a mania for collecting things. She seems a bit weird, but in reality she's the most straightforward. She always wears black clothing because she thinks that's what all magic users should do, and because it hides dirt very well. Very straightforward. This time she's just following Reimu's lead, but since this doesn't look like a typical incident, she's thinking about what she should do when she gets to the mountain. She has a surprisingly high amount of faith. Her fighting style generally relies on equipment that is suitable for people who like positioning themselves. It becomes very powerful once you master it. True. Stage 1 mid-boss, symbol of loneliness and demise. Aki Shizua, goddess of autumn leaves. Her ability is governing autumn leaves. The older sister of the Stage 1 boss, Minoriko. Normally they control autumn together as sisters. They're not terribly good at fighting, but they thought they'd come to warn and punish the humans that came to disrupt the autumn. She believes that the autumn colors of the turning leaves are the best thing about autumn, and is filled with a sense of superiority when she can show her younger sister their beauty. When winter comes, she becomes sorrowful. Governing is a really funny word to use for it. Like, when it's the next leaf election, exactly, she just governs them. She makes these important decisions for it. My glass is out of water. I will be right back. Thank you for the hydrate eclipse. Everyone else get a drink. Hydrate yourself. This man is his hydrates. What are you talking about, Eclipse? By the way, Zun stated that he wanted to depict both bounty and decay of autumn, but having just one character for something as big and vague as autumn did feel natural. So here's Aki's sisters. Aki Shizua just signed a law into effect that decrees all leaves have to get 2% more orange by 2028. Holy shit. The Aki sandwich of last year was plain bread. We'll see what we're getting this year. And then this one is Aki Minoriko. She is a harvest goddess. Her ability is governing abundant harvest. A first stage boss and Shizua's younger sister. Normally they rule over autumn as sisters. She's called to the village as a special guest at the Harvest Festival every year. If she's not called for before the harvest, she's not able to guarantee an abundant harvest. But that's not her problem, and she would not point it out. She's always surrounded by a sweet scent of fruit and other harvest items, and has something of a superiority complex with regards to her older sister. When winter comes, she also becomes sorrowful. And stage 2 boss. Nagashibina of the hidden god, Kageyama Hina. She is a misfortune god. Her power is stockpiling misfortune. What a hell of a power. Head of the tragic Nagashibina doll army, she stores up all the curses that are expelled during exorcisms. Even those with no real spiritual experience can tell that she's surrounded by curses. Any human or yokai around her will run into misfortune. However, she herself never has this problem. It only affects those around her. Hina does her best to make sure that misfortune does not befall humans once again. Fortunately for Minoriko, harvest gods are a dime a dozen. At least the human village seems to like her and invites her for good luck. Sounds delicious as a defining character trait. Is a highly competitive field. Haha! Field! Funny. Stage 3 boss, Super Yokai Warhead. Kawashiro Nitori. Species Kappa, ability manipulating water. A Kappa that lives on Yokai Mountain. For a long time, Kappa haven't let themselves be seen by humans, but since they usually hide to watch humans, they like to think that they're on good terms with humans. Oh, so it's completely just their own perspective. They're not actually on good terms with humans, they just think they are. She may suddenly change her attitude or speech, as she possesses a rather odd personality, but she's unexpectedly shy. She runs away the moment she sees a human. Since she's an engineering nut, whenever she sees something man-made, she takes it apart and puts it back together. Because of this, her clothes are stuffed with tools. She wanted to chase away Reimu and the others who had entered the mountain, but this is only because she believed that there was some sort of emergency occurring on the mountain and she thought the humans would be in danger. In the end, since Reimu and company didn't take her advice, Satori secretly decided to let them into the mountain. She thought it would be interesting to watch them interact with the mysterious new god. As a result of the ensuing battle, the Kappa came to accept the new god of the mountain. They're parasocial perverts. Oh yeah, that part does come out eventually. Wow. Stage 4 mid-boss, the petty parasol Tengu. Inubashiri Momiji. White Wolf Tengu. Seeing 1,000 Ri ahead. The roll in 13.5 is religious war? Okay, but have you considered buying my tech? Yeah, she's running a side hustle, right? Tengu that patrols the Yokai Mountain. Thanks to her superior senses of sight and smell, she can detect any intruder in an instant. When she discovers intruders, she attempts to intimidate them with simple attacks, and once they cannot handle the intruders, they report to the Great Tengu. Her forces are usually lying in wait behind the waterfall. She has a very cooperative personality and executes her duties faithfully. This is unusual for yokai, but not uncommon in Tengu society. However, she usually has a lot of free time as the Yokai Mountain doesn't receive many intruders. While awaiting orders, she enjoys playing a rather time-consuming game called Dai Shogi with the nearby Kappa. It's hard for the especially long-lived yokai to find good ways to pass the time. Simple attacks is one of the most fucked patterns in the game. I agree! That pattern is fucked! Stage 4, the Tengu closest to the village. Not the news reporter of fantasy. The Tengu closest to the village. Shememaru Aya. Pro Tengu ability manipulating wind. A news reporter on the Yokai Mountain. A Tengu who typically writes local news stories about the girls of Gensokyo. This time around, she got word from the White Wolf Tengu that an intruder had entered the mountain. Normally the White Wolf Tengu are charged by the Great Tengu with patrolling the mountain and conducting negotiations and defensive operations. However, in this case, the Great Tengu decided to call on this member of the information media to discuss negotiations. Cocking her head to one side in doubt, she headed to the scene of the event, where her confusion was immediately dispelled. The intruder was one of the girls she was always covering in her newspaper. In other words, the Great Tengu understood that Aya had the most in-depth knowledge of the intruder, and had the best chance of being told outright what the intruder's aim was. Aya went easy on the intruder, put on a show of vigorously defending herself, and purposefully lost. After all, if she let the intruder enter the mountain without putting up a fight, she would likely be suspected of being an accomplice to the humans. Aya pretended to lose to the humans and guided them to the mysterious shrine that had appeared recently. She reported to her superiors that the intruders had no business with the Tengu society, but were instead interested in the troublesome, enigmatic shrine that had appeared of late. The Great Tengu took in her report and then commended Aya for turning around a potential threat into an opportunity. He then ordered the underling Inubashiri to continue her observation of the humans and go to investigate the shrine of the mysterious god. According to Inubashiri's report, the mysterious god and the humans had waged battle, but it was a truly playful event where the two parties seemed to be enjoying themselves. Their respective personalities were bright and their heads kept level. There was little, if any, real danger. Rather, by pursuing a friendly relationship with the shrine, the yokai of the mountain might be better off in the end. After that, the chief of the Tengu, Lord Tenma, entered into secret negotiations with the mountain god. The details of their discussion were not made public, but it was made known that they had agreed to share the mountain with each other and pursue friendly relations. Since then, the Tengu and the Kappa came to have faith in their new god, though it was really more of an agreement to all celebrate together than a matter of faith. Wow, that was a longer one. Never mind, Sane's is so much longer. Stage 5 boss, deified human of the wind, Kochiya Sane, species human, occupation, wind priestess. Wait, she has a job? The other ones don't have jobs. Not even Reimu has a job. Why does she get a job? Ability causing miracles. A human who possesses the knowledge of a secretly inherited art. She has a very straightforward personality, so she has a lot of confidence in her own abilities, sometimes perhaps a little bit too much confidence. Wind priestesses were originally devotees of the wind god, but as they used their secret abilities to create miracles such as summoning the wind and rain, the people around them began to believe in these humans with mysterious abilities. In short, over time, people began to mistake the miracles they caused by the wind god as being caused by them. In addition, as keepers of secrets, they began to accrue faith to be treated as gods, even though they were humans. They became living gods. When she was young, Sune had mastered the secrets to call upon miracles that had been passed down through oral tradition only. A young girl that could call upon the power of miracles would certainly collect great amounts of faith, one would expect. However, the outside world had changed a great deal. Faith in even gods with many divine virtues had been decreasing rapidly. There were few who would worship even a living god who had attained divinity during her life as a human. Though she didn't really have much faith, Sune was able to live as a normal human without any real problems, but this would not do for the god she worshipped, Kanako. When people lose faith in gods, the gods lose their power. They can't manifest their divine virtues. This is the same as death for a god. Kanako came to a decision. There were limits to the amount of faith that could come from humans. From now on, she would also have to look to yokai as a source of her faith. Sune was surprised to hear the details of her plan. A world called Gensokyo has existed within our nation since time immemorial. It is said that this world still exists, hidden. Gensokyo has collected a number of things that have become lost or become fantasy in the outside world. One could say that even people's faith in gods is in the process of moving to Gensokyo. And so Kanako decided to move her shrine to Gensokyo. She would say farewell to the world of humans. Sune was afraid of leaving the world of humans, but as a person with the power to call on miracles, going to a world of miracles was one of the fun parts. She did not take the humans of Gensokyo seriously. She thought that if they threatened the only shrine in Gensokyo, the Hakure Shrine, Gensokyo itself would submit to their every wish. She went to deliver her ominous message to Reimu, and then was in turn defeated. The humans who lived in Gensokyo were more troublesome than she'd imagined, and in time she learned of the power they held as well. Big fish in small pond moves to bigger pond. That's kind of what ended up happening, exactly. Here, she was nothing special. She realized she had gone from being a god incarnate to just a normal human being. All she could do now was live a normal, peaceful life as a human of Gensokyo. Page 6 boss, the Avatar Mountains and Lakes. Yasaka Kanako. Species God ability creating the heavens. The goddess who, together with her shrine, recently moved to the Yokai Mountain. Because of her name Yasaka, countless hills, she's been said to be a mountain deity, but she is actually a deity of wind and rain. She controls the rain and the winds. In other words, she's been worshipped as a goddess of agriculture. The sequence of events that led to her being worshipped as a mountain deity are extremely complicated, and the only ones who know the truth are Kanako and Suwako. Kanako's trademark Shimenawa, literal translation enclosing rope, oh, that's like the rope behind her, represents the figure of an entwined snake. The snake, which continually sheds its scales, symbolizes resurrection, rebirth, and eternity. However, humans... Her circle! Her circle! That's so true. However, humans came to know mortality and started disbelieving in eternity. Even in agriculture, they continued to acquire skills that defied the rain and winds. They learned that mountains were created from volcanoes and changes in the Earth's crust. They also became able to cross mountains easily and without danger. Yes, humans had begun to believe in science and information. In tandem with that, the faith they had in gods like Kanako continued to wane. Kanako searched for a way to regain faith, and she came up with a big gamble. And that was to make the shrine into a thing of fantasy in the world of humans and collect faith in Gensokyo. Although it would mean that she would lose all the faith she had left currently and thus lose her power temporarily, this way held more potential. She chose a future with potential rather than over the crumbling glories of the past. And so, her plan seemed to be successful. The shrine was accepted into Gensokyo more smoothly than she had expected, and she quickly began to be worshipped as the deity of the Yokai Mountain. Although she had her doubts, now and again, at the excessive smoothness once she saw how Gensokyo worked, she believed she understood why things went so well. In Gensokyo, there was a shrine called the Hakure Shrine. And although that shrine was had almost completely lost all its faith, it was popular with yokai, and it was said that there was always some yokai frequenting it. For the yokai, the shrine seemed to have become a suitable playground. Along with becoming an object of worship, Kanako was also accepted as a playmate of the yokai. Feasts were held almost every night. Actually, to play together was what the gods wished for. Festivals were venues for humans and gods to play together. By forgetting about everyday life and coming together to play, gods and humans gained the feeling of solidarity within a community. Even if the humans were exchanged for yokai, it was the same. This was exactly the kind of faith Kanako was wishing for. However, the knowledge Kanako held of Gensokyo was limited. She didn't know that among the yokai of Gensokyo there existed a number of powers. Nevertheless, she collected the faith of the mountain yokai and attained great divine virtue. She did not realize that this meant that the power of the mountain yokai, in other words, the Tengu and the Kappa, were becoming too great. With that, there was the fear that the power balance of tranquil Gensokyo would collapse. Kanako thought that to keep Gensokyo's balance, she must now acquire the faith of the yokai and humans beneath the mountain. To achieve that, she must utilize the Hekure Shrine, else things won't proceed smoothly. Much remained before she'd be able to regain the same amount of faith she'd had in the outside world. And then there's this, which we have not played the extra stage, so we're not doing it. So, that's probably going to wrap it for me now, because it seems like a good spot, right? So next time, when I come back to this, we will tackle the extra stage, and then when I beat the extra stage, we will read the last character intro, and we will look at maybe a couple of the other goodies there. The usual after game completion stuff that we've been doing since Imperishable Night, right? Touhou lore is interesting. It is. Anyway, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and in joining me for the discussion we had during the Omake. I think that was it was a fun discussion. Never beaten this game's extra. That fuck-ass frog keeps getting me. Oh god, don't tell me it's bullshit. Okay, I've beaten Okina. I've beaten I haven't beaten Flandre, whatever. I've beaten Okina, I've beaten Ran, I've beaten Moko. And there's no extra in 9, really. I'm not worrying about that. So I have 3 extras under my belt. 3. Count them. On your fingers. 3. So this would be my 4th. We can do it. We can do it. Actually, now that I think about it, it's the mid-boss that keeps screwing me. I do not know what the mid-boss is. And that will be a next week endeavor. Again, I don't know why it does that when I do the transition. It just... I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but it's not really intentional. Anyway. That is going to be it for me. I will be back with this next week. Again, the usual stream now starts at 10 instead of 10:30. And then we will... we will continue from there. Second streaming, we have the 1cc. Now the question is, how hard is the extra stage gonna be? I'm actually a little bit curious, and so what I'm gonna do right now is I want to check. I want to check the other. Please don't do that yet. No, stop playing. Pause this shit, brother. Just take me to the YouTube studio. I want to see how many streams I have of the other Touhou games. So that I know how long they are. But I know how much I should expect here. Right? We're gonna go all the way to the end. Okay, so EOSD was 5. Hidden Star in 4 Seasons was 9. That was the first game. Then EOSD, I didn't do the extra there, and that was 5. But that game was hard, so that's also an outlier. Perfect Cherry Blossom was 6. Imperishable Night was 6. And Phantasmagoria Flower View was 4. So about 6. So you're telling me I have 4 streams of suffering for the fucking... for Suwako? Which, assuming about 3-ish hours, because my Touhou streams are a little bit shorter, just because it's kind of hard to play this game for a full 4 hours straight. So assuming about 3, or maybe even 3.5 hours, that's 2, 3, 12, 14 more hours? 14 more hours. If we're to assume that. Now, I don't think I got to the extra stage in Imperishable Night in like 2 streams. But allegedly, I have 14 more hours of gameplay if the pattern persists. Zun pulls out some of the interesting things, like one of the characters in 19 is based on some obscure yokai. Yeah, we will get to some of those games, that's for sure. Anyway, like I said, that's gonna conclude it for me. Thank you all for tuning in and watching, joining me on this adventure, and you know, hanging around for the discussion afterwards. I'll be back next week for more of this. Monday, I will be back with more Artificial Dream in Arcadia, as I think we are finally nearly done the workshop item, the Scarlet Tale of Phantom Mist. I think we're nearly done that. There's like maybe 2 extra bosses or something, I'm not really sure. So we might be able to finish that Monday. It depends. So be sure to join me for that if you're interested in seeing the end of that. And yeah, that's all I got. Alright, I got nothing else. Peace out. You guys have a good time. Stay cool out there. Alright. See you later. Bye-bye.